got my cruise control and overdrive. Need to take my baby for a ride. Ooh, she's like a smooth stretch of highway. Ooh, like a cool summer breeze. If my motor's running right, or we might lose control tonight. Got the shape I love to squeeze, looks that bring me to my knees. So please let it roll tonight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to TW Teleproductions North Coast Game of the Week. Once again, as we take you to the Duck Pond in Castalia, as the Margaretta Polar Bears get ready to host the Ottawa Hills Green Bear. We have bears all over the place in this thing here tonight, but good to have you with us as another season begins. The weekend number 4 in Castalia.
Go Bears! Polar Bears! Bears! Yeah, love Bears!
A Sosa family together, honoring.
Go Cameron! Go get them! Go
Get him, Cam.
Go Big Green!
Also honoring the recently departed Wally Sosa, who, by the way, scored the first touchdown ever at the new Duck Pond in Castalia back in 1959. Noble Crafts bringing you our pregame tonight from the pond. Always one of the, one of the more fun venues for high school football as you take a nice panoramic look and then across the pond into the village. This is so iconic, it's unbelievable. It's just fun to see this whenever you're in Castalia and you're watching a football game. I remember hearing about this for the first time when I wasn't even covering football here yet, but it was way back in the early 70s. And said, they play at a duck pond? You got to be kidding me.
It's great. It's really a family out here, and I think we just have some really good chemistry. It's going to be a really good battle. Ottawa Hills is a good team, and I just think the best team's going to come out with the win.
Cameron Sosa, your Sandusky Bay Pancake House featured player of the week. And Sosa, of course, been leading these Polar Bears to an outstanding 3-0 start in the season. And, of course, they've been led by Jake Boggs. Coming into this game, 5 touchdowns on the year and 381 yards. And he also, on the other side, has 31 tackles, so he's playing just a complete football season. Margaretta undefeated, but this is more to that story coming up. Our Fan of the Week first is brought to you by Snow Trails Winter Resort in Mansfield. And speaking of iconic, we're normally used to seeing him in green, but this is your Fan of the Week for Snow Trails Winter Resort in Mansfield. If it's Margaretta, there he is. He's on tap and ready to be cheering for the Bears in this one. Fan of the Week brought to you by Snow Trails Winter Resort in Mansfield. Margaretta's first 3 wins of the season come against opponents that have a combined record of 1 win and 8 losses. So this is the first real test for the Bears, because Ottawa Hills comes in at 3-0 also, and their signature win was a 35-13 win over Gibsonburg. That came way back in week 1 of the season. There's Gary Quizno, the head coach. Keep talking about iconic. Holy cow. He's a legend on the North Coast as far as coaching is concerned at Danbury, Oak Harbor, Perkins, and now at Margaretta, taking a team that was 2-8 last season and getting off to a flying start here in 2022. And obviously that's a big reason that there's so many fans in the stands here, and you'll get a look as we go on throughout the night at the outstanding village turnout here to watch the Polar Bears play football on this beautiful Friday night. And how lucky have we been so far this year with Friday night weather for football? Makes me smile too. Margaretta Marching Band making its entry onto the field. One of the main men that the Polar Bears will have to watch is a young man by the name of Sam McCaffrey. He has touchdown catches this year of 26 and 68 yards. They beat Evergreen the week before, and McCaffrey was like a one-man wrecking crew in that game. Intercepted a couple of passes, including one he returned for a score. See a little breeze blowing at the duck pond, and we are getting set for the battle of the Bears, the Green Bears and the Polar Bears. Margaretta against Ottawa Hills. Your pregame brought to you by Noble Crafts, Craft Tavern and Shop, located in downtown Sandusky. Here come the Bears, and here comes your North Coast Game of the Week.
Polar Bears.
Our first quarter is brought to you by the world-famous Paddle Bar, which is located in downtown Sandusky, right on the waterfront. And our first quarter gets underway with Margaretta receiving the opening tip-off, or kickoff, I should say, and it is Hayden Wiley covering up the football and getting the Bears their first possession off and running in the sunshine in Castalia. Cameron Sosa, 6'2", 177-pound senior quarterback wearing number 6. Coming out gunning on the first play from scrimmage. Gage Pody on the receiving end at the other end of the field, and a big play to get things started. We'll take another look once again at the outstanding camera work of Tom Whaley. Matthews Ford. Oh, the sun was in his eyes. There's always that excuse, isn't there? Well, we still saw it in there. There's Gage making the catch on the far side of the field. Just a little bit out of focus, but you can still see it. It all comes out good. And our first look at Jake Boggs, a 6'1", 220-pound, hard-running senior for the Bears. And Gary Quizno talking about what a complete package this young man really is. Look, there's nothing inside. He's going to just bounce off people and earn every yard that he gets. Go ahead and try and tackle me. Helmet comes off inadvertently, means you have to come off for a play. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that rule, but probably some kind of safety in mind. Look at that, just bouncing off tacklers and punishing tacklers along the way. And this is the cool thing. Jake would say after the game that he's always talking about the Margaretta coaching staff telling him just make sure the defense is working all the time. That's the way you wear them down. And that kind of a run wears down a defense. Sosa off the play fake. Keeps it himself. And nobody's going to catch him. And the Polar Bears are off and running.
Let's go! Cameron Sosa.
Good little high stepping off the field is Cam Sosa, who gets the Bears on the board early. Take another look for Matthews Ford. Little motion and play fake to Jordan Luzader. And then it is off to the races, and I don't think anybody ever even touched him. That's what's called drawing a play up and running it to perfection. And nobody touches the ball carrier. See the kick just off to the right a little bit by Bodie, and that would leave the score at 6-0, but enough to get the Polar Bear fans up and running on the east side of the stadium. Now the Green Bears get their first shot at the football. Chase Miller, the sophomore quarterback for the Green Bears, is 6'1", 175 pounds. And our first look at Rocco Pillarelli. Left-handed Miller off into the flats. And nice stop by Drew Keller. Quick toss again, just putting the ball out into the flats for Pillarelli. These kind of plays just off into the flats are designed to get your playmakers out into the open field. But Margaretta defense has some other ideas as Jake Boggs is leading that attack for the Bears, along with Kane Smetzer.
Back to check for Ottawa Hills.
Picked away by Emilio Duran. And the Polar Bears with a fair catch take over the football with a 6-0 lead. Sosa with some nice sidestepping in there for a solid gain on first down. Another look for Matthews Ford at Sosa, following his blockers on the right side and doing a little fancy footwork of his own. Sam McCaffrey right there, the man we talked about earlier, making the stop for Ottawa Hills. Boggs going down, but not before a battle with Jack Perozic.
He was stopped by number 5, Jack Perozic.
That brings up a third down for the Bears. And a pass completion for Gage Bodie.
Pass complete to number 2, Gage Bodie. Good for the Polar, first down.
And when you have a young man like Gage Bodie who's been involved in varsity sports since he was a freshman, sometimes it seems like he's been there forever for opponents. But he just continues to get better and better now as a junior. That time the ball popping loose, and Ottawa Hills will have the first opportunity of the game to jump on a turnover. We'll take another look for Matthews Ford at the run by Boggs. He just lost the handle as he got hit and was spinning to the ground. And the ball covered up by Nick Anderson of Ottawa Hills, and they are back in control of the football once again with Chase Miller finding McCaffrey.
Those passes complete to number 1, Sam McCaffrey.
First down for the Green Bears. Quick pitch out in the flats. Well covered that time by Margaretta. J.T. Patrick, one of the captains of the Bears, stuffing up the play.
Rocco Pillarelli on the carry for the Green Bears.
And again, Patrick getting up out of the pile.
For Margaretta goes to number 55, Kellen Moore.
Also had Kellen Moore on the stop. Margaretta's defense put on the spot here and trying to... See, there's a great look at the crowd. Boy, it's nice to see the crowds back in Castalia. Back to the days where the whole village would turn out. 33-yard field goal attempt coming up right here. This is Emilio Duran. Right there. A 33-yard field goal gets Ottawa Hills on the board as we say special thanks to these local businesses. They are packing them in Castalia. And the kids wearing neon, the student section. I love the way these student sections have developed all these theme nights during the high school football season. Pretty solid return by Judah Keller. And the Bears are right back in business again. Sosa goes right to the attack. And now Jake Boggs. McCaffrey right there. And McCaffrey just has a great nose for the football. Seems to be, he's wherever the play is, he's there. Not much doing there that time for Jake Boggs. Bears trying to take advantage of the good field position after the Keller kickoff return. Bears with timeout. And we get some signs of good business. Brady Signs. The Crimus Company. Noble Axes. Pizza House West. J Bistro. Fair catch called for by McCaffrey as Ottawa Hills has a chance to grab the lead back, down 6-3. Not going to be right here. The Bears go right back the other way with Jake Boggs coming up with the interception. 24 yards on the return for the score, and the Polar Bears stretch their lead. Trying to score 2 points here to make up for the kick that was missed earlier, but the Green Bears defense snuffed out the end run, which leaves the score at 12-3. Margaretta in the lead on our Civista Bank scoreboard. A great look at all the fans that have packed it in at the duck pond.
Just like we've been doing, we're going to go one, check to one. If they're and then anything else, we're
Ottawa Hills is number 1.
11.
Sam McCaffrey.
Hey, that's what I do, man. We here. We were doubted.
Erasing a lot of doubts. But here's that McCaffrey dude again. Telling you, Sam McCaffrey generating a lot of talk in Northwest Ohio. 88 yards on the kickoff return. And now all of a sudden, it is a tight ball game again. Extra point kick up and good. And it is a 12-10 Polar Bear lead over the Green Bears. Duran's quite a kicker. The Bears back to the attack, trying to gain control of this football game once again. Not much on first down for Boggs on that play. Sosa doing a nice job on the rollout passes for Margaretta, leaving them just shy of a first down with third down coming up. Boggs cut down just enough to pick up the first down. Good hard run again by the quarterback Cameron Sosa off the play fake. Just enough of a hole to cop through, and he just absorbed a pretty good hit, hung on to the football. Gets Polar Bear first down as our first quarter winds down to a close. With Margaretta holding the lead at the duck pond. Stay tuned. Quarter number 2 next on our North Coast Game of the Week. Another great shot of the pond at the beginning of our second quarter, which is brought to you by the Old Fish House with knickknacks, snacks, and all the BS facts you need in Huron at the Old Fish House. Margaretta with a 12-10 lead after one quarter on our Civista Bank scoreboard. Quarter number 2 starts with Cameron Sosa.
Sosa again on the carry for Margaretta.
You know, you always talk about Gary Quizno, master the wing tee offense and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, you've got to have the people to fit that kind of an offense, and somehow he just manages to find people to fit those roles. Just over the outstretched arms of Gage Bodie.
Sosa's pass incomplete, intended for Bodie. Brings up a Polar Bear fourth down.
Well, the Polar Bears have to kick the football away with the 2-point lead. And Ottawa Hills will take over just on their side of midfield.
Come on, D, let's go. Come on, sis.
Mary Quizno chanting on the defense, trying to protect this 2-point lead. And there is McCaffrey. There goes McCaffrey. Sam McCaffrey, 54 yards for the score, and he is wreaking havoc again here. A kickoff return for a score, now a 54-yard touchdown for a score, and this young man is a player. He does a little bit of stutter stepping there and manages to read that hole, and when he finally does and shoots through, ain't nobody going to catch him. So now Ottawa Hills jumps out to their first lead of the ball game at 16-12. With the extra point attempt coming up. And Durant, true to the mark once again, makes it a 17-12 Ottawa Hills lead on our Civista Bank scoreboard. Looking into the twilight at the duck pond. And every time we show you the sunset, it's different, and it's even neater than the one before. Judah Keller on the return for Margaretta as the Polar Bears now try and fight from behind for the first time tonight.
Jake Boggs, the ball carrier for Margaretta.
Let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Down goes Boggs after a short gain. Talk about a nice catch. Gage Bodie with a great fingertip grab right there over the shoulder, kind of leaning to one side, contorting his body just the right way to be able to come up with that catch. That was nicely done. See Sosa coming up a little bit limp as well. Sosa, you see, absorbed that hit just as he was throwing the ball. Look at Bodie. Wow. Staying in bounds all at the same time. Just a nice grab. Great second look for Matthews Ford. And now Judah Keller on to replace Sosa at the quarterback spot. Keller is just a freshman at 5'11", 174 pounds. Of course, when you bring in your backup quarterback, I just wonder about how your offensive calls may change. Now you're just putting the ball in the hands of just a talented freshman and see what he can do. Keller didn't look at all happy after that play was done. Pretty good decision right there for the Polar Bear freshman. Stop made downfield by Nick Anderson, and the Bears are in business with a fresh set of downs after this good-looking run right here by Keller. First look, nothing there, but when you spot the hole, you take advantage. Now it's Jake Boggs' turn. That's called pay dirt. It's from 36 yards away for Boggs, and the Polar Bears right back in business again. Take another look at this run off the left side by Boggs. Nice cutback. Slipping a couple of tackles, and the rest, as they say, is history. he blowing a kiss to the Ducks or what? Extra point run by Keller is good.
Conversion is good. Quarterback keeper Judah
Keller runs it in.
takes it in the end zone.
Almost looks like his dad under that helmet, doesn't it? So the Bowler Bears come right back after falling behind, and they grab a 20-17 lead over Ottawa Hills on our Civista Bank scoreboard. Here comes that McCaffrey dude again. It's one of those kids that every time he touches the football, you just kind of hold your breath and hope for the best. All right, great defense by the Bears that time. Jake Boggs there and Anthony Flewelling. 6'4", 302-pound senior. This is Bringing the Heat for Gunlock Sheet Metal Works Incorporated. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and refrigeration since 1889. Boggs on the bottom and Flewelling up on top. Closing the door on that play. That is Bringing the Heat in style for Gunlock Sheet Metal Works on Columbus Avenue in Sandusky. Miller, quick toss out into the flats, and not much there for Jake Perozic, thanks to the defense of the Green. Something tells me they've seen this before. Judah Keller is right there. Ooh, get away with a face mask? Oh, yeah, there's the flag. Did not get away with a face mask. Miller on the run, bailing that thing to the far sidelines. Wow. Sunset over the pond in Castalia, our North Coast Game of the Week. Thanks to the following folks for their support. Matthews Ford, Cook Aluminum, Hermes Parker Concrete, Noble Fun, Steinemann Hefner Insurance, Payne Nichols and Company, Sandusky Steel and Supply, Gnome's Podiatric Medicine. Wow. Boy, it's Polar Bears closing from every direction. Boggs, Keller. Nowhere to go for Miller. Jordan Luzader. Bears get possession back. I'll take another look right here as Miller tries to go medium deep. Our second look, of course, brought to you by Matthews Ford as always. Miller that time with time to throw the ball. And Luzader wins the battle. Good balance to get a few more yards on the return. And now it is Polar Bears football. Sosa back on at quarterback for the Bears. And Kane Smetzer on the carry for Margaretta. Smetzer, a junior at 5'10", 182 pounds. From the wingback spot on the left side, where Smetzer comes from, following right behind Boggs, who is cutting forward. That's gang tackling right there. It's like, oh, please don't everybody fall on me at once. Jake Boggs forward for a few. On third down, it's Hayden Wiley. Talk about a good target. Wiley at 6'4", 203 pounds. Nice to have a big guy like this in your arsenal to throw the ball to when a third down is needed. Good concentration also as he had number 6, Nolan Strasbaugh, cutting right in front of him as the ball arrived. All the way down to the 33-yard line of Ottawa Hills. Smetzer on the attack once again on a pickup of about 12 yards all the way down to the 21-yard line. Does that guy love football or what? Back to another go with the Bears and instantly turning them into a successful squad once again. Jake Boggs for a couple of yards. And then Cam Sosa for a few more. Pull the Bears inch closer to that goal line with time winding down in our first half. Nice defensive penetration by Cole Anderson that time. And time out on the field to admire more of the gorgeous sunset over the pond in Castalia on a football Friday night. More signs of good business. Crush Wine Bar, Wendy's, Dockside Cafe, Sandusky Bay Pancake House, S&H Blinds and Floors, Cameo Pizza. See in the final minute of play here and on fourth down. And just 1 yard to go. Pull the Bears with just enough to keep this drive alive. Great reception again by Gage Bodie. Although Ottawa Hills says no, the official on this side says no, and so does the official on the other side. Kind of like majority rules here in the officiating crew. Another look to Gage Bodie on the far side. Impossible to tell from here whether it was caught. It looked on the other side like, yeah, it would have been caught. I just seen that ball juggling around just a little bit underneath. So the touchdown does not count. That should cause good coverage by Nick Anderson breaking that ball up and knocking it away from Bodie in the end zone. Another shot on third down is Sosa on the rollout. Will find Bodie this time. But not enough for the first down. So on fourth down, Bears for a 21-yard field goal attempt. Gage Bodie with 4 seconds to go in the half, trying to give the Bears a 6-point lead at the break. And he does. Halftime score, Margaretta 23, Ottawa Hills 17. A good one at the Duck Pond. That's your Civista Bank scoreboard. We've got another second half of action coming up from Castalia if you just stay right where you are for the North Coast Game of the Week. Third quarter is brought to you by Restore Pro, Disaster Cleanup and Restoration. And once again, we are on a gorgeous Friday night at the Duck Pond in Castalia with Margaretta on our Civista Bank scoreboard, holding a 6-point lead over Ottawa Hills in a battle of 3-0 football teams in Week 4 of the high school football season. Let's look at some of the performers of the Margaretta High School Marching Band at halftime. And where did all those fans go? They got great goodies down below. That's where they went, but they'll be back because we got a great football game going here for our second half. Cameron Sosa sat out a little bit of the first half after getting dinged up a little bit, but good to see him back and going once again to be able to finish up that first half. As always, we invite you to watch the lower left-hand part of your screen. We've always got local sponsors zipping by down there, and we always invite you to keep it local and support our local area businesses that support the North Coast Game of the Week. At the time, the Bears doing a good job of containing McCaffrey to start this first drive of the second half. Chase Miller. Quick toss out on the right side. I'll tell you what, they did a nice job carrying out the play fake that time, but Margaretta's defense just didn't bite. That causes a fourth down kick by the Green Bears. And Margaretta takes over at their own end of the field for their first drive of the second half. And Jake Boggs goes right back to work again. Boggs will just fight you to the finish of every single play. Let's watch a first down run once again for Boggs, who just doesn't stop. Like a locomotive. Hits into the line. A couple people with hands on him. 3, 4. And he just keeps barreling forward for more yardage. Nice job by the Polar Bear senior. You can see why Gary Quizno says so many great things about him. How is it from way down here, fans that far away spot them, there's a camera on them? It's amazing. Boggs ad-libbing that time. Sosa off the play fake will keep it himself that time. Bring up a second down for the Bears. And again, just typical Jake Boggs. Punishing first down carry.
Let's go push that.
Jake Boggs, the ball carrier for the Polar Bears.
Well, I tell you what, you want to play the game of football? Don't watch this play before you start playing. And this is Sosa handing off on the end around for Gage Bodie. But watch this. One, and then boom. Oh, helmet to helmet. You can see the head snap back, and that obviously causes concern when you see that kind of stuff. But it just happens once in a while. Sosa takes his turn, and not an easy stop either.
Sosa on the carry. He's stopped by number 5, Jack Rosen.
Too much penetration that time by A.J. Demore, who slowed that play up and didn't allow Boggs any running room at all.
No gain.
And Jake does not look happy about it either. Sosa under pressure. And down he goes. That's just good coverage downfield by number 68, Teddy Sapersky, sophomore. But just once again, you see number 68 in your camera right there. He's the one that's going to break this play up as Bodie does that sideline pattern, and Sapersky right there to break it up at the last minute. Bodie saw 6 points all over that one. Sometimes you just tip your hat to the defense and say, job well done. Rocco Pillarelli at it once again for Ottawa Hills.
22, the ball carrier.
Sam McCaffrey can't hang on to it that time, and this time the Bears get the better of him. Game still at 23-17, but Margaretta with the opportunity on the turnover. Take another look right here at what happens with McCaffrey, who has been basically gold all night long. On the reverse, just lost it as he went to the ground as he got ripped out. And the Polar Bears now try to take advantage of opportunity. I'll tell you what, didn't get much yardage, but it was a good, tough run by Kane Smetzer. And now Boggs, all the way down near the 20-yard line. That is a Margaretta first down. Boggs again. See ya. Brought a smile to the senior running back of the Polar Bears. This is our Civista Bank play of the game, extending a 23-17 lead. Out to 29-17. Your Civista Bank play of the game. 20-yard run by Jake Boggs. And now the extra point attempt for 2. Boggs said the knee was down just shy of the goal line. The ball might have made it in, but it's where the knee hits the ground first, where the ball is located when the knee hits the ground.
2 minutes, 59 seconds in quarter number 3.
Jake still,
Margaretta 29.
I got it, I had it. That's what we do. Great effort, though, by Boggs. Counting 101 at the duck pond. But now it is Ottawa Hills' turn to battle back, and not going to happen on the kickoff, indeed, as there was great downfield coverage by Seth Stanley, a 6'3 senior, 248 pounds. Time to thank more businesses for their support of the North Coast Game of the Week. Good Time Lake Erie Cruises, Skate World, Ghostly Manor, Restore Pro, BGSU Firelands College, Wake Up and Waffle, Cold Water Company, Danny Boy's Italian Eatery, Heartland and Wilkin Custom Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And now, Ottawa Hills 12 down. Pillarelli for a few. And now Chase Miller on the scramble, bumped down by Boggs on the far side of the field. Second down play call. Turns into third down off the incompleted pass.
Seth, come here.
And that man McCaffrey would have been off to the races had he not stepped out of bounds right in front of the Ottawa Hills bench. But it does pick up a first down. That is a lateral and pass and well executed, and there goes McCaffrey. Yeah. 49-yard touchdown pass. They toss it out into the flats for Perozic. And the defense bit just enough for a little bit of an underthrown ball, but once McCaffrey slips the first tackle, then the rest is history. Well, the Green Bears keep it a ball game. The 2-point conversion fails, and it stays at 29-23.
Point after attempt is broken up by number 1, Judah Keller. 2 minutes, 2 seconds to play in the third is marked.
This is as to why they went for 2 instead of 1 when they got a kicker like they do. Just all got broken up. The snap doesn't get down, that's what happens. So it is going to be a 6-point lead for Margaretta as they receive the kickoff once again. And the Bears now twofold. You want to score again, and you also want to eat some clock once you get into the fourth quarter with the lead. Another one of those good hard-nosed runs by Boggs as our third quarter winds down to a close. Cameron Sosa spinning forward for a few on second down. So when the fourth quarter begins, it's going to be a third down play call for the Bears, who are holding the lead and the upper hand here in Castalia in this battle of 3-0 football teams in Week 4 of the 2022 high school football season. Quarter number 4 is next on your North Coast Game of the Week. Stay right where you are. Our fourth quarter is brought to you by Snow Trails Winter Resort in Mansfield, Ohio. Margaretta holding on to a 6-point lead as our fourth quarter gets ready to roll. There you see it on our Civista Bank scoreboard. 29-23. Polar Bears over the Green Bears. Look at those stands in the background. The kids absolutely going crazy in the student section. Cameron Sosa just enough for a first down to start our fourth quarter, keep this drive alive, and now the clock continuing to run as well. Sosa following his offensive line. D-block by Evan Miller, the big 6-foot-tall, 235-pound senior for the Bears.
Jake Boggs, the ball carrier.
Good runners when there's no running room. Still manages to pick up a couple of yards. That's Jake Boggs. Sosa for a couple, and it'll be third down for Margaretta. Judah Keller back in the ballgame once again for the Bears, and now a fourth down play call. Sosa back in, and the handoff for Gage Bodie. And that time it is the Ottawa Hills defense that's equal to the task to keep themselves in the ball game down by 6. And they regain possession of the football at their own end of the field.
That one's going to go to number 55, Kelly Moore, number 24, Kane Smetzer.
Here comes McCaffrey. They like getting him the football, and this is one of those times you say, thank goodness there's penalty flags.
Early on the carry for Ottawa Hills. Met at the line of scrimmage. And number 1, Judah Keller.
On a 3rd and 15 for Ottawa Hills, they've got Miller on the run. Great defensive pressure that time by Hayden Wiley. Stuffed that play.
Big play by number 34, Hayden Wiley with the quarterback pressure.
6-point lead remains intact
Ladies and gentlemen,
for Margaretta.
Ada sorority will be hosting a mom sale tomorrow.
Margaretta about to get the football back. And a very key drive in this game. It's still a 1-score game. You'd love to make it 2 this late in the contest. Not much doing for the Polar Bear offense that time, as A.J. DeMoore pretty much stuffed things up. Now Kane Smetzer, good second effort. Well, there is a base that's been through the war tonight. Leaving it all on the field at the Duck Pond, and Margaretta still holding that 6-point lead here in the 4th quarter. Smetzer, great second effort. And now Boggs picks up the first down, driving the Bears ever closer. 9 yards and a huge run for the Polar Bears to stretch it out. Another look for Matthews Ford. First down for the Bears. And unfortunately, limping off the field, J.T. Patrick, one of the captains of Margaretta at 6 feet, 196-pound senior. Kane Smetzer. That's who runs. Very, very determined efforts down to around the 9-yard line. And now Boggs. Huge score for the Bears with 5:05 left to play. And he knew the camera was on. Absolutely knew the camera was on. What a nice seal block there on the outside. And Boggs used it for the 9-yard score. That's me. I'm number 5. Don't you forget about it. Sosa to Bodie for 2. Margaretta restores a 14-point lead at 37-23. We know run back here as they will start on their own 35-yard line. Or do it again. They'd love to get the ball in McCaffrey's hands right here and just let him go. And mission accomplished. Look at Margaretta's coverage. Ran right back into Jordan Luzader, who is not about to let him go. But you kind of know McCaffrey's going to be involved somehow. That kid can just make a lot of great things happen for a football team. And they find all sorts of ways to get him the football. Here he goes again. Play like that got called back for a touchdown earlier.
Run is good for an Ottawa Hills first down.
Little head and shoulders fake by Miller, and then an off-balance throw just going out of bounds on the far side. So it would be second down and 10. Pass play for Pillarelli, which picks up a first down. Now Miller, a little stutter step. Did not fool Cooper Tigas. And then the sack by number 71, Dylan Gibson, 6'2", 267 pounds. Big play for the Polar Bear Jr. We'll watch once again as Miller looks for an opening, but Gibson shuts it down. Ball popping loose as well, but Ottawa Hills back on top of it. So many people get confused when they see officials throw that orange marker and marks the spot of the ball. Pillarelli once again, nothing doing because Boggs is there. Jordan Luzader in the same area, and the Neon folks are all pumped up at the pond. The pumped up Margaretta defense totally shuts everything down on that drive to preserve a 14-point lead at 37-23. And a huge step toward being 4-0. Good Miller once again, but great backside pressure coming from Hayden Wiley once again. Wiley with a couple of huge defensive plays, and he is happy about it. So Margaretta right now just out to protect the clock, run it down, protect the football as well. Don't care about yardage at this point. It's just run the clock and hang on to the football. And you heard in the background someone yelling, "Stay in bounds, keep the clock running." Margaretta about to be 4-0 on the year. Again, you can't help but go back and think about last year when Margaretta was 2-8. Now all of a sudden, in 1 year, here they are at 4-0 and still going. Jake Boggs.
Hey, this is what we do, 4-0, man. 4-0.
This is what we do, 167 yards worth on 27 carries. One of the key factors in Margaretta's victory here tonight. And folks, Margaretta real happy with this football team, as you can see. The students gather on the sideline to do the alma mater along with the team. What a great sight. See you next week for Huron and Perkins.